depicting large footprints as a sizable, bipedal creature with an ape-like appearance. The Yeti is a creature resembling an ape purportedly inhabiting the Himalayan mountain range in Asia. In Western popular culture, it is often colloquially known as the abominable snowman. Numerous dubious claims and articles have emerged in attempts to validate the existence of the Yeti, encompassing anecdotal visual sightings, contested video recordings, photographs, and the discovery of plaster casts depicting large footprints. Notably, some of these claims are either speculative or have been confirmed as hoaxes. The genesis of the Yeti legend can be attributed to a confluence of factors, including Sherpa folklore and instances of misidentification involving local fauna like bears or yaks. It's worth noting that the Yeti frequently draws comparisons to North America's Bigfoot, as these two subjects often share similar physical descriptions. Descriptions of the Yeti typically portray it as a sizable, bipedal creature with an ape-like appearance, featuring fur that can vary in color, including shades of brown, gray, or white. Some depictions also emphasize its large, menacing teeth. As per H. Seeger's research, the Yeti held a significant place in the pre-Buddhist beliefs of several Himalayan communities. He documented that the Lepcha people revered a glacier being as a deity associated with hunting. Additionally, he noted that adherents of the Bon religion once held the belief that the blood of the wild man possessed spiritual significance for certain ceremonies. Descriptions of this being portrayed it as resembling an ape-like creature, armed with a substantial stone as a weapon, and producing a distinctive whistling swoosh sound. A historical account from 1832, published by James Princep's Journal of the Asiatic Society of Bengal, recounted the experiences of trekker B. H. Hodgson in northern Nepal. During his journey, Hodgson and his local guides encountered a tall, bipedal creature covered in long, dark hair that swiftly fled in apparent fear. Hodgson's conclusion was that this creature was likely an orangutan. During the early 20th century, there was a noticeable uptick in reported sightings, coinciding with the determined efforts of Western explorers to conquer the challenging Himalayan peaks. Some of these adventurers occasionally recounted encounters with peculiar creatures or came across strange tracks. In 1925, N. Tambatsi, a photographer and a member of the Royal Geographical Society, documented an encounter he had at an altitude of approximately 15,000 feet near Zimu Glacier. Tambatsi's account detailed how he observed the creature from a distance of about 200 to 300 yards for approximately 1 minute. He described the figure as undeniably human-like, walking upright, and pausing periodically to interact with some diminutive rhododendron bushes. This enigmatic being appeared as a dark silhouette against the snow and seemed to be devoid of any clothing. Approximately 2 hours later, as Tambatsi and his companions descended the mountain, they stumbled upon the creature's footprints. These prints were characterized as resembling those of a human but measured only 6 to 7 inches in length and 4 inches in width, unmistakably indicating a biped. In 2004, Henry G., the editor of the prestigious journal Nature, made mention of the Yeti as an intriguing example of folk belief deserving of deeper exploration. He asserted, the revelation that Homo floresiensis persisted until such a recent point in geological terms makes it more plausible that tales of other mythical humanoid creatures, such as the Yeti, may have some factual basis. In early December 2007, the American television host Joshua Gates and his Destination Truth team made headlines by reporting the discovery of a series of footprints in the Everest region of Nepal. These footprints bore a striking resemblance to descriptions of the Yeti, with each print measuring 33 centimeters in length and featuring 5 toes spanning a total width of 25 centimeters. Casts of these prints were created for further scientific scrutiny. The footprints underwent examination by Jeffrey Meldrum, a researcher from Idaho State University. Initially, Meldrum found them to be so morphologically precise that they appeared genuine and not man-made. However, his perspective evolved after conducting further investigations. Subsequently, in 2009, during a television program, Joshua Gates presented hair samples purportedly linked to the Yeti. A forensic analyst examined these samples and reported the presence of an unidentified DNA sequence, adding an extra layer of mystery to the ongoing quest to understand this legendary creature. Some Yeti sightings have been proposed to result from the misidentification of Himalayan wildlife. These include instances where the chute, a langur monkey, found at lower altitudes, could have been mistakenly perceived as a Yeti. Additionally, the Tibetan blue bear or the Himalayan brown bear, also known as dzute or the Himalayan red bear, might have contributed to these misidentifications. Furthermore, deliberate hoaxes cannot be ruled out as potential explanations for certain sightings. James Randi has highlighted the effectiveness of convincing ape costumes used in films, surpassing any representations of the Yeti put forth by believers. Randi also raises questions about the feasibility of the Yeti's existence, suggesting that maintaining a stable gene pool would necessitate a significant population. For the Visit Nepal 2020 campaign, the Himalayan nation of Nepal chose the Yeti as its official mascot. The Yeti has made frequent appearances in various forms of media, including films, literature, music, and video games. Yeti, Giant of the 20th Century, a 1977 Italian-Canadian giant monster film directed by Gianfranco Parolini, co-written by Parolini, Marcello Cascia, and Mario Di Nardo. The Werewolf and the Yeti, film directed by Miguel Iglesias Bonds, starring Paul Nashi. Ajuba Kudrat Ka, film directed by Sham Ramsey and Tulsi Ramsey. Monsters, Inc., animated film directed by Peter Docter. When the main characters are stranded in the Himalayas and are rescued by a friendly abominable snowman who was among the monsters exiled from Monstropolis. Yeti, a love story, film directed by Adam Deo and Eric Goslin. Lissy und der Wild Kaiser, German animation film, directed by Michael Herbig. Yeti, Curse of the Snow Demon, telefilm directed by Paul Ziller. Snow Beast film starring John Schneider. Abominable Christmas, animated telefilm directed by Chad Van de Keer. Yoko, film directed by Francisca Buck. Deadly Descent, The Abominable Snowman, telefilm directed by Marco Macalakso. The Disney XD series Pair of Kings episode, Yeti, set, Snow, features a tribe of Yetis who live on the snow-capped mountains of Kinko and are one of the known tribes there. In 2016 the Travel Channel released, in the series Expedition Unknown, a special 4-part episode titled, Hunt for the Yeti. In the Bengali film Yeti Abhijan, there is a prologue of gigantic teeth which, as of Yeti, is a primary plot point. Also there are different sightings and point of views of Yeti is shown through the movie. Smallfoot, animated film directed by Kerry Kirkpatrick and Jason Reisig, is focused on the Yetis. This depiction of the Yeti has them at 20 feet with no visible noses and horns on their heads. Abominable, animated film directed by Jill Colton and Todd Wilderman, has a young Yeti named Everest as a central character. The adult Yetis are shown to around 30 feet. Missing Link, animated film directed by Chris Butler, features a kingdom of Yeti that live in the Himalayas that are led by a paranoid Yeti elder. The TV series Mickey Mouse Funhouse feature a Yeti who resides in the adventure world of Winter Mountain and sports a dog-like face and ape-like body. Alternate history author Harry Turtledove has written stories as part of the State of Jefferson stories, titled Visitor from the East, Peace is Better, Typecasting, and 3 Men and a Sasquatch, where Yetis, Sasquatches and other related cryptids are real. However, unlike common popular depictions of such creatures as less evolved primates, they are essentially another race of human beings, and have been integrated into society. Wild Man, a song by Kate Bush from her 2011 album 50 Words for Snow. A Yeti serves as a pivotal character in Hergé's 1958-1959 comic book Tintin in Tibet, where it is depicted as an enormous, intelligent and sensitive ape-like creature who saves and protects the young Chinese who is the only survivor of a plane crash. Goosebumps has a story called The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena, where this abominable snowman was found in Alaska in a block of ice and can deal with the unmelting snow and ice as seen later in the story. In the video game Mr. Nuts, the title character goes through a series of levels before meeting his nemesis Mr. Blizzard, who is a Yeti. In the 2006 video game Titan Quest, Yetis appear as beast enemies in Act 3. There is an expansion to the video game Far Cry 4, named Valley of the Yetis, dedicated to finding a relic in the Himalayas that turns people into Yetis. Ski Free by Chris Peary features a Yeti who can eat the player if the player reaches more than 2000 m down the slope. The 2006 GameCube game The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess features a Yeti couple who live in an abandoned manor atop a snow-covered mountain. Mega Man Star Force 2 features a boss by the name of Yeti Blizzard. Yeti folklore is the theme of Walt Disney World's attraction, Expedition Everest at Disney's Animal Kingdom. It features a 25-foot-tall audio-animatronic Yeti which appears during the ride. An abominable snowman also appears in the Matterhorn bobsleds attraction at Disneyland. Yetis is the mascot of Cleveland Community College in Shelby, North Carolina. Yeti Airlines is a prominent domestic airline in Nepal.